You've had a lot of good performances in this competition, a lot of good performances in your time as Arsenal manager, but where do you place coming here against last year's finalists who had to get something tonight?
Well, very proud of the team, obviously. We talked before the game, we needed a special performance, a very complete performance throughout the games against, as you said, the top side, and we certainly done that tonight.
What pleased you most?
The courage, the attitude, the willingness to go to another level. We've done it at home against two top sides this season in the competition, but to do it in San Siro against the best team in Serie A and one of the best teams in Europe, as you said, is something else.
Was it an intention in a way with your team selection and the way you used your subs to make a statement tonight in a way?
I was about trying to be better than them, and we knew that we have to navigate through different stages in the game. They manage the games, they control the games in a very good way, and we knew that we were going to have to do that in the pitch and through the subs as well.
You had some wonderful individual performances. Let's start with Gabriel Jesus. We talked about him before the match. You said he'd bring unpredictability, but there's a poacher, of course, there, isn't there?
He's an unbelievable player, and the bigger the game is, more comfortable he plays, and so happy for him. I think he deserves the Man of the Match awards, not only for the goals, for all the work that he's done, but like him, many of the players, you don't win in San Siro.
Christian Mosquera also was coming back tonight as well. I think you were particularly pleased with him.
Very happy. I think he's a player that normally he had to be back 2 weeks after, so the medical staff, physios, sports science and himself, they put all the hours in the day to try to make it happen, because we know that we are very short in the back line, and to play against the true striker, the manner he's done, remarkable.
And then, of course, it will feel special, I'm sure, tonight for Victor Gyökeres after a degree of criticism, and you underlined yesterday you had belief. Wow, what an impact.
A great impact, and the game was taking a shape that was fitting him very much, and he had two big chances. He put one of them away, and I think he really helped the team.
Does the nature of that goal also do something special in a way for his confidence? It was fantastic.
Very important, and for him again, it's the second away game that he's done really well. Now he's finding some consistency. He brings something very special to the team. That's on finish, and yeah, very happy for him as well.
What does tonight tell you about your team? We talked about the depth that you now have. Have you underlined that tonight?
Yes, it doesn't matter who we play, that they are ready and they are perform, and that we have to trust all the players, because we made 6-7 changes today, and still we perform at the highest level. We have another game in 4 days, and we had a game 2 days ago, so we know we're going to need everybody to achieve what we want.
Can you tell us about Ethan Nwaneri? There's been talk of a possible move to Marseille on loan. Is that going to happen, do you think?
I don't know. We'll have a discussion this week. Obviously, he's not having the minutes that probably he deserves as well, and he needs at his age. So we will address the situation and see what is best.
So that might be a good thing for him in a way as well, and for the club.
Let's see. We have to sit down and discuss how we want to move that forward.
And a final point, you go into a big game, going to be some selection poser now, isn't it, for you up front? Who starts?
Let's enjoy tonight first, because I think we deserve that, and we have a few days to prepare the Man United game.
Well, it's a tough night for your team. How do you sum up the performance?
Tough night for the lost. We try to stay in the game. We try to do our best, especially in the first half when we had our chances at the 1-1. We didn't manage to get in the advantage, and then the episode with the corner kick, the ball hit the crossbar, it went inside. So we tried our best even in the second half, but the quality, the changes that they had, they put us in a lot of trouble for the speed, for the intensity, and also for the strength that the Arsenal team has.
Did they surprise you in any way?
No, not at all. We knew this is the best team one of the best team in the Premier for the moment, one of the best in Europe. They're first without losing, maximum points. We knew it's going to be tough. We knew that they have the quality, the depth of the rooster. It's important, and yeah, we try to play our game. We try to get something out of this game. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Do you think Arsenal right now, it's 7 wins, they've been so consistent, of course, in this competition. Do they have the greater depth than any team in Europe right now?
In my opinion, as I said yesterday, Arsenal together with Bayern Munich are the two better team at this moment. But a lot of things can happen from March on, because Champions League is always something special. It's always depending how you get there when the important games, where the knockout stages is coming.
You want to be, of course, in that top 8. How do you view your chances? It looks like it's a win, essentially, isn't it, next week in Dortmund for you to have a chance?
I don't know. We still have to wait for tomorrow games to see how the table will be, and then make the calculation. I don't know. We'll see. We step in on the field every time to win, to do our best, to see the progress that we've made lately. And no matter what's going to happen, we're still going to be here, even if we have to play a playoff match. There will be no problem. 2 more games, but we are used to.
Gavi, congratulations. Before we get into the game, a certain Arsenal fan in the studio, in Thierry, enjoyed that performance. Do you have a word for him?
To him, keep believing in Arsenal, keep believing in the players, because he's a gunner, he's a legend of this game, and then obviously the greatest, I think, player who heard this t-shirt. So I think when he talks about like Arsenal, everyone listen, and then when he talks about players, everyone listen as well. And then I think it's always good when someone like him talk about the players and the team, and then the club, because helps a lot, and then he knows that.
Oh, that's very sweet. In terms of the game then, you got 2 goals today, 2 very different types of goals. One more of a poacher goal, getting your toes at the end of it, and then that header. How good does it feel to get your first goals in the Champions League in just over 2 years?
It's amazing feeling, when I was a kid, I always dreamed to play in the big stages, and then I was talking before the match with some of the players that I played here 2 times already, and then I never score. So as a kid, I always watch Serie A, and then I was like dreaming to play here, and then just to come here, play against Inter, amazing club with amazing players, and then score, and then win against one of the best teams in the Europe is amazing feeling, of course. But obviously, it was a great performance by the team.
That result means that you have now booked your place into the round of 16, and you will get one of those top 2 positions with a game to spare. How much pressure does that take off the team now?
Well, depression is, for me, is a word that we cannot live without. To play for this huge club, always he'll be a pressure. So I think pressure he'll be there till you heard this shirt, but we have to take in a good way, we come here, it's a pressure to play against them here, knowing that I don't remember last time they lost here, and then we did today. We won against one of the best teams in Europe, and then obviously we have to rest today, tomorrow, and then after start to think about another big one on the weekend, and then they come from victory against their rivals, so their confidence is high, but obviously we have to enjoy the performance, the victory of tonight, because it's a great achievement for the group, and then give us obviously more confidence.
Just last one, you have mentioned what comes up on the horizon. Fans felt a little frustrated with that performance against Nottingham Forest last time out in the Premier League. It is Manchester United back at home, of course, had 4 games away from home in all four different competitions. What can you take from today going into that game? You mentioned how revived Man United looked against one of the title rivals in Man City.
Well, it's a final. I think we have to face every single game as a final. Like I said, they come with a new manager with a lot of confidence, because they just beat their rivals, and it's always hard to play against them. But we were playing at home. Obviously, we didn't have the best performance in last game in the Premier League, but still we have amazing players, amazing stadium. The support the fans give us is amazing, unbelievable, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to give them some performance back to the Premier League.
Marcus, how do you reflect on today's game?
Well, I think the little details made the big difference tonight, because we considered 3 goals, but I think in the game we were in, that this difference didn't show. But at the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard and it's 3-1 for them.
You did manage to get back into the game after they went ahead first. What do you feel was the difference, or can you go a bit deeper into those little details that you just mentioned?
Well, I just came out of the game, so my head is not fresh enough to give you the full details of what I think about the game. I'll have to rewatch it. But like I said, the little details, the corner, the second balls, they were a little bit more aggressive than us tonight, and that's what made the difference.
You look at these results in the Champions League, it doesn't make for good reading for Inter fans. That's 3 losses in a row now in this league phase. What do you put it down to?
Well, the Champions League, I know how it is. It's difficult games against big teams. We have a remaining game in Dortmund next week, so we'll focus on Friday's game in the league, and then we'll approach the game against Dortmund like a final.
You speak about finals. How determined is this team to get into those knockout stages and go deep in the competition again?
Oh, we are. When you play for Inter, I think the least you can do is try and go the farthest you can in every competition you play, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, was 3-1 a little bit hard on Inter, or was it about right?
It's hard, of course, because I think that we didn't deserve to lose like this. So in the first half, we had really good chances when the result was 1-1, also 1-2. But in the end, they scored their chances. Also, they didn't have a lot, but they scored what they have. So that's the most important thing, that you need to score the goals. And in the end, we lose the game. But I think we were good on the pitch. We played good against them because they're really strong. And in the end, I feel bad also my team about lose, but it is what it is. We need to continue. We have one more game and we try to win.
Well, Arsenal top, of course, in the Champions League table. Are they the best team you've played this season?
Yeah, I think yes, because they won against everybody and first in their league. So results talk about them. So I need to say yes.
What is it in their game, do you think they have, that's special right now?
I don't know what to say now. My head is also hot. So I think they were more crucial in the box. Yeah, they scored in every game, so they found a lot of way to score the goals, and that's their strength. And in the end, they won the game, and that's most important for them.
So when you look now at the final game in Dortmund, it pretty much looks like you've got to go there and win to have a chance of finishing in that top part of the Champions League table.
Yeah, of course, we will go in Dortmund and we will try to win, because we know that only with win we can go in first 8. It's important, and we will try to win, and in the end we will see that what is.
Hello everybody, good evening, so good to have you still with us. So we're going to take you through some of the highlights. We haven't got to do, we're already like half an hour into the post game. We haven't got to show you many highlights yet. We're going to do that now. What's up, Mikey, you good?
Just looking at the other half.
Keep it together, never mind, we're moving on from that one. Anyway, Inter against Arsenal, that's where I want to pick up, because Arsenal had a good night tonight.
Yes.
3-1 the final score against Inter, away to Inter.
Very good night. You have 2 strikers scoring goals, very unlike Arsenal at the moment. But if we start to score goals with strikers and adding and keeping doing, the set pieces, will be amazing. But as you can see here, Gabriel Jesus holds the ball very well, play with Eze, ball arrive on Timber. And then, as you can see, Merino gets involved, ball goes to Timber, misses his kick, but Gabriel Jesus is alert to make it 1-0 for the Arsenal.
Yeah, and they started brilliantly, Arsenal. Inter Milan got the goal, they come into the game. Thuram was really good in that first half, causing the centre-back problems. And it felt like the goal was coming for a spell, 10-15 minutes, as I said, in that first half. And Susic got to the goal, really good.
I was waiting for that.
Susic. He scored the goal, that's scousing up for you. And great strike, but the inevitable was coming. As I said, Arsenal was so dominant at times in that first half, Big Meeks.
Yeah, there was that set piece, Trossard to Jesus. I mean, what was that, 19th they've scored from corners this season?
Yeah.
Trossard, the smallest man, and Jesus probably the same height as him as well. Just a movement in the box though, he comes alive and just there to tap it in.
The crossbar, the ball, yeah.
For sure. And then Gyökeres.
And yes, I think we all felt kind of a relief, when he scored, and some type of happiness. I don't know what they're doing in Inter Milan, allowing him to go, but he held the ball very well. Then he's trying to play Bukayo Saka, that will go down as an assist for Bukayo, and then he bends it really well. You can question a tiny bit the goalkeeper, but it doesn't really matter. I think we were all happy for him with what's been happening to him at the minute. But sometimes when you're at the club and you have a kind of a fair kind of you have the other striker that scored, you
Yes.
come, you just score, who's going to start, who's gonna, that's a healthy competition.
Well, Anita Jones was over there at the San Siro for us. We're going to go over to Anita and check in with her because she seemed to think that she had spoken into existence the goals earlier on. I believe you've been speaking to some people as well over there in the tunnel and everything after the game. Have you got any news for us? Anything you can share?
100%. I'd like to say I do have those superpowers because what an entertaining game we had, especially off the back of Arsenal's game at the weekend. But heard from Gabriel Jesus mentioned that TT was happy with the performance, and I asked did he have anything to say in response to it, and he said that he just loves that when he speaks about the team everyone listens, and he asked if you could continue to do so, that you have such an authoritative voice when it comes to all things Arsenal. So yeah, a lot of love from the Brazilian, who of course got 2 goals today. It was his first goals in the Champions League in just over 2 years, giving Mikel Arteta a real headache. I asked Mikel Arteta both about Gabriel Jesus and Gyökeres, and he agreed that goal from Gyökeres was probably the best that we've seen from him in an Arsenal shirt. So plenty for the Spaniard to think about when they have that huge game against your team at the weekend, Kate.
Yes, but don't forget, Man U are back.
What?
Oh, it's a good game against Manchester City. Anita, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Are we going to see Anita again, or is this like goodbye? Is this
just
the
one
official
question.
goodbye?
How was it? How was your night? Did you have fun? What did you have to eat? Did you go to shopping? Come on, Anita. You just come with one answer and leave us.
Of course. Another thing I wanted to say, many Arsenal fans want to hear about the man, the mastermind behind 25 Arsenal goals from set pieces this season, because they got another one in this game, rightly so being called set piece kings. Nicolas Jova is the man, in fact. But Arsenal are not letting him do interviews. They are aware that people want to hear from him, that he's a secret weapon, but unfortunately he's not going to be revealed to the public.
Oh, secret weapon who everybody talks about.
Interesting.
It's just a weapon now.
Well, Anita, the new rules are we all stay till 11:15. So if you don't mind just hanging around, just in case. I'm joking. You can go, actually. Okay. You're fine. Thank you so much. It was good to see you. We will see you next week, I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course. And that's after Arsenal beat Manchester United at the weekend.
Fighting talk. Okay, let's see.
Wow.
Goodbye.
Bye now.
Gavi, congratulations. Before we get into the game, a certain Arsenal fan in the studio, in Thierry, enjoyed that performance. Do you have a word for him?
To him, keep believing in Arsenal, keep believing the players, because he's a gunner, he's a legend of this game, and then obviously the greatest, I think, player who heard this t-shirt. So I think when he talks about like Arsenal, everyone listen, and then when he talks about players, everyone listen as well. And then I think it's always good when someone like him talk about the players and the team, and then the club, because helps a lot, and then he knows that.
Oh, that's very sweet. In terms of the game then, you got 2 goals today, 2 very different types of goals. One more of a poacher goal, getting your toes at the end of it, and then that header. How good does it feel to get your first goals in the Champions League in just over 2 years?
It's amazing feeling, when I was kid, I always dreamed to play in the big stage, and then I was talking before the match with some of the players that I played here 2 times already, and then I never score. So as a kid, I always watch Serie A, and then I was like dreaming to play here, and then just to come here, play against Inter, amazing club with amazing players, and then score, and then win against one of the best teams in the Europe is amazing feeling, of course. But obviously, it was a great performance by the team.
That result means that you have now booked your place into the round of 16, and you will get one of those top 2 positions with a game to spare. How much pressure does that take off the team now?
Well, depression is, for me, is a word that we cannot live without. To play for this huge club, always he'll be a pressure. So I think pressure he'll be there till you hear this shirt. But with we have to take in a good way, like we come here, it's a pressure to play against them here, knowing that I don't remember last time they lost here, and then we did today. We won against one of the best teams in Europe, and then obviously we have to rest today, tomorrow, and then after I start to think about another big one on the weekend, and then they come from victory against their rivals, so their confidence is high, but obviously we have to enjoy the performance, the victory of tonight, because it's a great achievement for the group, and then give us obviously more confidence.
Just last one, you have mentioned what comes up on the horizon. Fans felt a little frustrated with that performance against Nottingham Forest last time out in the Premier League. It is Manchester United back at home, of course, had 4 games away from home in all four different competitions. What can you take from today going into that game? You mentioned how revived Man United looked against one of the title rivals in Man City.
Well, it's a final. I think we have to face every single game as a final. Like I said, they come with a new manager with a lot of confidence because they just beat their rivals, and it's always hard to play against them. But yeah, we were playing at home. Obviously, we didn't have the best performance in last game in the Premier League, but still. We have amazing players, amazing stadium. The support the fans give us is amazing, unbelievable, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to give them some performance back to the Premier League.
Well, thank you, and congratulations on today.
I appreciate it.
Mikel Arteta's work at Arsenal is being viewed in an even brighter light after the recent coaching shakeups elsewhere. With Chelsea parting ways with Enzo Maresca and Manchester United moving on from Ruben Amorim, the contrast is hard to miss. Arsenal has kept moving forward under Arteta, giving him time through difficult stretches, and now seeing the payoff as the club pushes again in the Premier League title race. It also raises a bigger question about strategy. While Chelsea and United are changing direction again, Arteta has been in place for more than 6 years, outlasting a long list of managers across those 2 clubs in that span. That stability has become part of the story, and it was a major talking point on the Seeing Red podcast with Tom Canton and John Cross. Beyond reacting to Amorim's dismissal and breaking down wins over Aston Villa and Bournemouth, plus Manchester City's loss to Chelsea, the conversation kept returning to one core idea: structure. Not just who is the coach, but how much power that coach has, and whether the club is built to support a long-term project. Cross pointed to Arsenal as a rare example of patience turning into real strength. He argued that Arsenal's willingness to back Arteta through the messy early phases helped create the stable position they're in now, and that this kind of time and support investment is what can turn a club into something truly solid. Canton's response was sharp and honest. Arteta's arc, he said, has almost become a problem for other clubs, because it tempts them to keep coaches they probably shouldn't. But at the same time, it's still the best example of what can happen when you hire the right person and actually give them time. And that time wasn't smooth. The discussion highlighted how Arsenal could easily have pulled the plug early. 2 8th-place finishes, then 5th, missing out on the Champions League, and a Europa League semi-final exit to Unai Emery's Villarreal. Any of those moments could have pushed a club into panic mode. Instead, the argument is that Arsenal recognized the bigger reality. Arteta didn't have the resources to compete at the required level right away. The squad needed a rebuild. The roster needed to be refreshed. That's where the comparison to Chelsea and United becomes even more pointed. The podcast suggested that recruitment and decision-making structure are often what determine whether a coach survives. If signings don't land, results suffer. And if a coach doesn't have enough influence, or the club isn't aligned behind a clear plan, it becomes much easier for things to collapse. In other words, giving time only works if the coach is empowered to shape the team in a way that matches the vision. Cross also emphasized that Arteta's situation stood out because he pushed to be a true manager, not just a head coach. The idea is simple. Top coaches want a real say in the build, and they want the club to match what they were promised when they took the job. The discussion even pointed to how Arteta survived a low moment, like the home loss to Burnley, because the club stayed behind him. And in that period, with fan pressure affected by the COVID-era environment, Arsenal were able to hold their nerve instead of reacting emotionally. Meanwhile, the big unknowns now shift back to Chelsea and Manchester United. Who replaces Amorim? And how will the next chapter look at Chelsea? The answers may come sooner than people expect. But for Arsenal, the reality stays the same. They're stable, they're moving forward, and they're still in the title chase, while others are starting over again. And that contrast can shape how people judge every manager in the league. Because when two massive clubs hit the reset button again, it forces the same question Cross raised on the show. Is the quick switch actually fixing the problem, or just delaying the real work? The bigger takeaway from the discussion is that time isn't a magic solution by itself. It only becomes valuable when the club's structure supports the plan, and when the coach has the influence to push the squad in the direction he believes it needs to go. That's why the distinction between head coach and manager kept coming up. The podcast point is that if a coach is expected to own the results, he usually wants a meaningful say in the decisions that shape those results. And if he doesn't get that, patience alone won't save him. That's also where Arteta's early struggles get reframed. Those finishes and setbacks could have become a reason to panic. Instead, they became evidence of why alignment matters, because Arsenal chose to treat them as part of a build, not a final verdict. And once the squad was reshaped the way the club believed it needed to be, the results started to reflect that long-term approach. So the repercussions aren't just about Arsenal looking stable, it's about how stability changes your margin for error. When you don't reset every year, you're not constantly starting from zero. You're building on decisions, learning from setbacks, and keeping a clearer identity. For Chelsea and Manchester United, the immediate consequence is obvious. They're changing direction again, which means the next appointment carries even more weight. Because every new coach isn't just judged on results. He's judged on whether the club is finally giving him the structure and authority that the role demands. That's why the question at the end matters so much. Who will replace Amorim, and how will Liam Rosenior do at Chelsea? Because those answers will test the exact theme the show kept returning to. Time, support, structure, and control. And for Arsenal, it's a different kind of pressure. Stability doesn't guarantee trophies, but it does keep you in the fight longer. And right now, while others restart, Arsenal get to stay focused on what they're already doing, chasing the Premier League title.